Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever, paused to consider the very beginning of everything?
It's a huge question. Really fundamental.
Absolutely. Today, we're taking a deep dive into exactly that. Who designed the universe? We're looking at sources like who designed the universe beyond the Big Bang that wrestle with this, grand design versus cosmic accident idea.
Yeah, trying to figure out what's really going on.
Our mission here is to pull out the key insights so you can walk away feeling, well, really engaged with this enduring mystery.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Well, when we talk origins, the Big Bang Theory is usually the scientific starting point, isn't it?
It is. It's our best scientific explanation currently.
The idea that the universe started from this super hot, super dense state about 13.8 billion years ago.
Right, and it's been expanding ever since. And look, this isn't just a neat story.
No, there's solid evidence.
Exactly. Really compelling evidence. You've got the cosmic microwave background radiation.
That faint afterglow, yeah.
The echo of the early universe. And we see galaxies moving away from us. That expansion is observable. Plus, the amounts of simple elements like hydrogen and helium, they match predictions perfectly. It's science, backed by observation.
It really changed everything, didn't it? Our whole concept of cosmic history. But, okay, even the Big Bang has its limits.
Oh, absolutely.
It tells us how things got going from that point, but not really what kicked it off or what was there before.
That before question's a tough one.
Right, because if time and space themselves started with the Big Bang, does before even make sense? It kind of bends your brain.
It really does.
Yeah.
And science takes us into some pretty speculative areas there. We're talking about ideas like maybe our universe is part of a bigger cycle.
Like expanding and contracting forever.
Potentially. Or maybe it popped into existence from a quantum fluctuation, like a random energy blip in whatever was there.
Wow.
But we have to be clear, these are very much theoretical models at this stage. There's no definitive scientific answer for before the Big Bang.
Okay, so science gives us a strong how after that initial moment, but that leads straight into the why, doesn't it? Because when you look out there, the universe seems incredibly, fine-tuned. Like it's set up just right for life to exist.
And that's a really powerful point for many people.
Suggesting design.
That's the argument. Many theists would say yes. They look at the complexity, the order, the beauty.
And the physical laws themselves.
Especially the physical constants. Things like gravity, the speed of light, the basic forces. They seem balanced on a knife edge.
If they were slightly different.
Exactly. Stars might not form, galaxies wouldn't hold together, chemistry for life might be impossible. So the argument goes, this precision suggests a designer, a divine creator.
It's a compelling thought, it really is. But what are the counter-arguments? How else could we explain this apparent fine-tuning?
Well, science offers other perspectives. One big one is the anthropic principle.
Okay, what's that?
It basically says, look, the reason we observe the universe that can support observers like us is because if it couldn't, we wouldn't be here to observe it in the first place.
So it's almost like a selection effect. We can only see a universe that allows us to exist.
Sort of. It doesn't necessarily mean it was designed for us, just that we find ourselves in a universe compatible with our existence. It's the only kind we could find ourselves in.
Okay. What else?
Then you have multiverse theories. The idea that our universe isn't the only one.
An infinite number of them, maybe?
Possibly. With different laws, different constants. If there are countless universes, then purely by chance, some of them will have the right conditions for life.
And we just happen to be in one of those lucky ones?
By probability, yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily by design.
So chance versus design. This brings us to that classic philosophical question, doesn't it? If you say the universe was designed...
Then who designed the designer?
Exactly. It feels like an infinite loop.
It's the problem of infinite regress. Yeah. If everything needs a cause or a designer, what caused the designer? It pushes the question back a step, but doesn't necessarily solve it.
So how do philosophers or theologians address that?
Often by proposing a first cause or an unmoved mover.
Yeah.
Something that is necessary, eternal, self-existing. It doesn't need a cause itself.
Outside of the usual rules of cause and effect.
Essentially. Something outside of time and space as we understand them, often identified with a divine being. It's a way to stop the endless regression.
Wow. Okay, so this whole deep dive, it really highlights how this question sits right at the crossroads of science and philosophy.
It absolutely does.
The Big Bang gives us a powerful framework for how the universe evolved from an early state.
But the ultimate why it began and the who, if there is a who, those remain really profound mysteries.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whether you see the universe as the product of, blind chance operating under physical laws, or as the work of a divine intelligence.
Or maybe something else entirely we haven't conceived of yet.
Right. Both science and faith, or even just philosophy, offer different ways to explore it, different lenses to look through. It forces us to think bigger.
And that really brings it back to you, listening right now. How do you approach these huge questions, the ones where science reaches its current limits and mystery takes over?
What stands out to you from this discussion about design, chance, and beginnings?
Keep thinking, keep exploring,